What's going on, guys? Andrew from Babylon here. I played Metroid Dread on a Switch OLED, and I've got some stuff to say about it. But before we do that, if you're new to the channel, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and let's keep going. Metroid Dread is an action-adventure game developed by Mercury Steam and Nintendo EPD, released on October 8th, 2021, for the Nintendo Switch. Players control bounty hunter Samus Aran as she faces a robotic enemy on the planet ZDR. It retains the side-scrolling gameplay of previous 2D Metroid games and adds stealth elements. Dread was conceived as a Nintendo DS game in the mid-2000s, but was cancelled due to technical limitations. Industry commentators expressed interest in new 2D Metroid games and listed Dread in their most wanted lists. After their work on Metroid Samus Returns in 2017, Metroid producer Yoshio Sakamoto appointed Mercury Steam to develop Dread, the first original side-scrolling Metroid game since Metroid Fusion in 2002. Nintendo announced the game at E3 2021. It received generally favorable reviews from critics and audiences. I loved this game. I absolutely could not put it down over the weekend it launched. So it came out October 8th with the Nintendo Switch OLED, which if you haven't played Metroid Dread on the OLED, you're really hurting yourself. They're the perfect combination. It is absolutely gorgeous. The sound design is fantastic, especially if you play this game with headphones, because then you can hear all the little tiny background sounds, like the creatures in the back of the, just on the planet. It's so, oh, I love it. It just, you feel like you're there with Samus on planet ZDR. This game is absolutely amazing. So I actually wrote a script out for my review because I had a lot to say about it. Now, this is going to be a spoiler-free review. If you check back on the channel in a couple of weeks, me and two other guys from Babylon are actually going to get together. We're going to record an entire spoiler, recording of our thoughts and impressions of Metroid Dread, our review of Metroid Dread. So, again, if you are new to the channel, like the video, subscribe, and let's get into this. So the playability in Metroid Dread is one of the most absolutely amazing and smooth video games I've ever played. Once you've fully powered up Samus with all of her abilities, navigating through planet ZDR is just fun. Between sliding under little passageways, blasting your way through enemies, or using the flash shift and speed boost to seamlessly get from one area to the next. I found myself honestly just running around the different sections of the game and just having fun with it. Though it took some time to get used to the timing, the grapple hook was a really great inclusion in her power-ups. The combat is easily some of the best in the entire franchise. When you use the Joy-Cons, it makes aiming an absolute breeze, and combined with the ability to hold the L button to aim around makes you an excellent marksman. It was really great gaining all of Samus's abilities and absolutely smoking some of the enemies that had previously dominated me. This game legitimately terrified me in certain points of the game. Some of the first encounters with the Emmys were so horrible and made me feel extremely uneasy, especially some of the later ones that would track you down if you moved even the slightest. It made for some extremely anxious and stressful moments. Planet ZDR was designed so perfectly and had so many little things happening in the background of the game. You could see creatures moving around and light and shadows shining in the distance. The textures really pop, especially if you're playing on the Switch OLED like I did, and the color design absolutely blew me away. Every single time when I went into a save room and it was just dark and Samus was in there lighting up the entire room with her lights, it was just so gorgeous. There was so many moments of this game where I just stopped playing, stared at the screen, and just really sat there in awe, soaking in everything that this game has to offer. Metroid Dread does not shy away from its insane lineup of creatures in this game. Planet ZDR is full of all sorts of different aliens and robots that are aching to take you down. Some new, some old, these creatures want nothing more than to watch you die. And I promise you, you're going to die. I died all of the time in this freaking game. I'm saying probably between 100, maybe even 200 times. Some of these mini bosses and actual big bosses, you really need to take your time and learn and just memorize what they're doing. You need to learn their moves because you have to be able to take it down. There's certain bosses that have multiple different phases of the boss fight, and if you die and get hit, you're dead. You have to restart. I'm honestly shocked that the internet didn't have this game completely spoiled for me by the time it launched. Truthfully, I'm proud of Twitter and the community for not giving away any big story beats or even leaking the game beforehand. I came into this game almost completely blind by only watching a few trailers here and there, but was completely shocked with the twists and turns this game threw at us. I won't mention anything here, but the ending was a moment that I will remember for a very long time and the perfect way to wrap up this story. So, this is by far my absolute favorite Metroid game. Between the difficulty, inclusion of new ideas with power-ups, and the amazing melee counter, this game is an absolute must-have for any Nintendo Switch user, and I'm proud to say that Samus is back, baby. I can't wait to see where the future has in store for this franchise, and I hope Nintendo will continue to show love for the lady. Guys, you gotta get Metroid Dread. I know there's a lot of controversy right now on Twitter where there's people saying that it's not worth the $60, and they're comparing it to games like God of War. Obviously, these are two separate, different types of games. I beat this game in 8 hours and 6 minutes. I took my time. I kind of just enjoyed the world. I didn't try to get 100%. I'm doing that currently on hard mode, and I'm having a lot of fun my second playthrough. I wouldn't sit there and listen to what a lot of these people are saying. You judge a game by the way it looks, by the way it plays. Don't sit there and listen to these idiots on Twitter who are going to sit there and say this game looks bad, plays bad, is just another Metroid game, because it's not. This is one of the best Metroid games, and to me, it is the best Metroid game. This is 100% a 10 out of 10 game, and it is my game of the year, absolutely hand over fist right now. I don't really have a lot of other games coming out this year that I'm that excited for besides Pokemon. Like, I know Shin Megami Tensei 5 is coming out, and obviously Tetris Effect came out the same day as Metroid Dread, and there's also, you know, the new Super Mario Party game. But Metroid has always been a franchise that I hold near and dear to my heart, and I'm so glad to see that Mercury Steam and Nintendo teamed up to give us one of the best Metroid games. If you haven't played this game yet, you absolutely need to get your hands on this. Whether you get the special edition, which is being restocked everywhere, I actually was able to get my hands on it thanks to my good friend Johnny, aka Black Kool-Aid, or just go out and get a physical copy. We need to make sure this game sells over 3 million in the first year, because then fellow YouTuber RGT85 will have to play Ball in Wonderland and do a review on it. It's nice to see that Nintendo's really showing some love for Metroid, and I really hope they continue to do this. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening to my review. This is a spoiler-free review. I will have another spoiler review coming in the next couple of weeks with a couple other friends of mine. We're going to go in depth, talk a lot about the game, just talk about the ending, everything we loved, everything we hated about it, stuff like that. I know that one of the guys actually had a lot that he has to say, especially about the Emmys. So I'm really looking forward to that conversation. So like the video, subscribe to the channel, share with your friends, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See you later.